Okay, continuation of question number 7 from October-November 2016, paper 4, variant 3. Question on statistics. This is part 7, question 7, part B. Now we move on to, from cumulative frequency curves to a frequency table here. Okay, a grouped frequency table, and we're asked to find an estimate of the mean price of the 120 cars, okay, in that, the data that we were given. So they've given us here the frequency table, and it's a grouped frequency table, and we've got to find an estimate of the mean price of the 120 cars. So before I go into it, just so that you understand, a lot of people, they see a question like this, and they say, okay, I know what to do. I have to do 9 times what's halfway between these two, and 29 times halfway between those two, and so on. And they don't actually understand what they're doing, why they're doing it. They just know what to do like a robot, like a machine, without any understanding, which I personally do not like to teach in that way. Okay, I like my students to understand what's happening, not just to memorize and learn how to pass an exam without really knowing what they're doing. Okay, so that's why I would like to just explain for those students who don't really understand what a frequency table is, although it's going to take a bit longer than some of you might like. I prefer to explain it. Okay, so basically, first of all, we should understand what this frequency table is itself. Okay, basically, there were 9 cars whose value was somewhere between $0 and $6,000. Okay, that was the price of the car. Okay, there was 9 of them in that range of values. Okay, so they didn't make a frequency table where you've got distinct value for every item. They said, okay, all the cars which are worth between $0 and $6,000, we're going to put them in this first group. And all the cars that are worth between $6,000 and $8,000, we're going to put them in the second group, and so on and so forth for the rest of the table. So we have 9 cars whose value was somewhere between 0 and 6,000. Now, we don't actually know, from the data that we're given here, we don't actually know what the precise value of each one of those 9 cars is. So the mean of a set of numbers is when you add all those numbers together and you divide by how many numbers there are. That's the mean of a set of data. In this case, we can't find the mean. We cannot find the mean because we don't know what numbers we need to add together. All right, so I don't know what the numbers are that I add together, okay, to get the the mean. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to say, all right, these 9 cars, I don't know the exact value, but I know their value was somewhere between $0 and $6,000, somewhere between those values. Okay, so what I'm going to do to make so that I can estimate the mean, it's an estimate, it's not an actual mean, it's an estimate of the mean, because I'm not able to find the real mean. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate by saying, let me take what's halfway between these 2 values in order that I can find something to multiply those 9 cars, a value for those 9 cars. So I'm going to say, I'll take the mid-interval value, which is like an estimate of the value of those 9 cars. So, okay, halfway between 0 and 6,000 is 3,000. Halfway between 6,000 and 8,000 is 7,000. Halfway between 8,000 and 10,000 is 9,000. If you're not sure if all the numbers are a bit strange, all you do is you add the limits together and you divide by 2. It's like you're finding the average of those 2 numbers, okay? Like halfway between 10 and 12 is 11, so it's 11,000. 12 and 14, 13,000. And 14 and 22, well, you got 14 to 22. 14 plus 22 is 36. 36 divided by 2 is 18, so that's 18,000. Okay, and you can kind of make 14 to 18 is 4, 18 to 22 is 4. So yeah, so that's halfway between them. Okay, so now we have the mid-interval values. Now we have something to multiply these numbers by. Now it's very critical that you write the steps in these questions because it's very easy to make calculator errors. Okay, so you should write the steps very carefully. So to write the steps, you could make another column, or you could just write them down here. You can say, okay, I know you're going to have 9 times 3,000. Okay, so those 9 cars, their estimated value of each of them is 3,000. So 9 times 3,000 will give me the total sum of the value of these 9 cars. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for every other item, and I can When I've done that, I've got an estimate of the total value or total price of all those cars altogether, and then I've got to divide them by the number of cars, and then I'm going to find the mean price of the cars. Okay, so 29 times 7,000. There's 29 cars whose value we estimate to be 7,000 each, and there's 20 cars whose value we estimate to be 9,000 each, and there's 14 cars whose value we estimate to be 11,000 each, and there's 21 cars whose value we estimate to be 13,000 each, and then there's 27 cars whose value we estimate to be 18,000 each. Just about fit in there. And then I'm going to draw a straight line. That's my division. That went kind of like upwards, isn't it? Anyway, that's like my division, my fraction, divided by the total number of cars, which is 120, which if they didn't tell us, we'd find that by adding all these numbers together. If you add all those numbers together, you get 120, which we don't need to add them together here because they told us how many cars there are, but sometimes they don't. So please don't make the mistake. Some people say, oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. No, there's not 6 cars. There's 6 groups that they divided up, the values into, but these are the number of cars in each group. Okay, so there's 120 cars altogether, and this is an estimate. The numerator will give an estimate of the total value of those cars. So what I suggest you do is the following. Okay, you take your calculator and you just plug these values in. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to write down the sum. All right, you could put it all in one go as a fraction, but I'm going to write down the sum of those numbers first, the total, sum of all the estimated values, and then divide by 120, so that I write down a step that the examiner will be looking for in case I make a mistake. So 9 times 3,000 plus 29 times 7,000 plus 20 times 9,000 plus 14 times 11,000. Okay, plus, move along a bit. I've got 21 times 13,000. 1, 2, 3. Plus, I got 27 times 18,000. That's very easy to make a mistake here. So look, you got 27 times 18,000 and 21 times 13,000, and you got plus here, and 14 times 11,000. 14 times 11,000. Okay, and you got plus, and you got 20 times 9,000, and you got 29 times 7,000, and 9 times 3,000 equals. So that's 1,323,000, right? Yeah. So you got 1,323,000 divided by 120 cars, and that will tell you the value of the mean value of each car. So 132, yes, divided by 120, and that gives you 11025, came out as an exact value. So 11,025. Now there's no rounding to 3SF here because it's an exact value, it doesn't continue on and on and on. Okay, so you put 11,025 as your answer. Now some people will do this all in the calculator and they won't show any steps and they'll write an answer down. Now, if you made a mistake, so it's very easy, for example, to put plus in your calculator, to put a plus here instead of a sort of multiplied, or put a multiply here instead of a plus. Very, very easy to make a mistake. So what you need to do is write your steps down. Okay, at least write this down. Okay, so that the examiner knows you've taken the mid-interval values and you've got the method. This is 4 marks for this question, right? So you don't want to be throwing away your marks. Okay, finally, part C. The price of a car is $8,760. Brian pays a deposit of 25% of this price and then 24 equal monthly payments. After 24 months, you will have paid a total of $9,948. Calculate the cost of one monthly payment. Okay, so now he pays 24 equal payments. So you've got to find out what one of the monthly payments are. So it's 8,760. Okay, he pays a deposit of 25% of this price. So he's going to pay 25%, 25 of 100 times this much, which is going to be Just take the calculator again. It's going to be 0.25. 0.25 multiplied by 8,760. Okay, that gives us 2,190. Okay, so that's his deposit. Okay, and then he pays 24 equal monthly payments. After 24 months, he will have paid the total. Okay, so now his total, okay, is this much. So he got his deposit, so 9,948 minus his deposit, which is 2,190, will tell you how much he has to actually pay. Okay, and in how much he has to pay. Okay, more than the deposit that he's already paid. Okay, so that's how much he's got left to pay after paying the deposit. So you got 9,948 minus your answer from before, which gives you 7,758. So 7,758 is how much he's got left to pay. Okay, so he's paid the deposit of this much. Okay, and you've got to pay 24 months. So you could do it algebraically. You could say, okay, this is deposit 2190 plus 24 times x must equal 9948. Okay, this is the algebraic way of doing it. I've been doing it in a, this answer we then divide by 24. 7, whoops, too many sevens there. 58. Okay, you divide this by 24 and you'll get his monthly payments. 7,758 divided by 24, which gives you 323.25. So that will be his monthly payment, 323.25. And this is another way of doing it. You say, okay, that's his deposit. That's how much he has to pay. The rest of the money he has to pay in 24 installments, equal installments. So we call each installment X. So 2,190 plus 24 times X will give us the total. So then you say 24X is equal to 9,948. So X is equal to, minus 2,190. So 24X is equal to 7,758. So X is equal to the same as this. Okay, so then it's the same. So that's an algebraic way of doing it. Okay, over here, and this is just like, almost like mental type of arithmetic kind of way of doing it. Okay, so there we have our answer. Okay, we can check, we can always make sure, it's always a good idea, especially if you have a bit of time, to just check, does my answer make sense? If I paid, let me just put the calculator somewhere I can see it. Okay, if I paid 24 installments of this, so multiplied by 24. Okay, and then I add to that the deposit that we've said, 2,190. It should give me the amount of the cost of the car, the amount he's paid in total, 9,948. Okay, so that's how we deal with the question. Of course, the cost of the price of the car and the amount he pays is different, because when you pay in installments, you're going to be paying more than the cost of the car as if you bought it in one go. All right, so there we have the answer to that question. Thank you for listening.